Okay, so there's no live stream this week for whatever reason, but we do have the non-translated slides already over on the Japanese Twitter page. So what we're getting here, we're getting the heroic trial for I can't remember what the name of that Hestia is. The Hestia and the Haruhime. I'm pretty sure Soma, if I'm not mistaken, is included with this group. But chances are you'll probably either be picking the bond for Haruhime or the Hestia. I will be going with Hestia because I only need 1 or 2 more bonds, and she is completely MLB'd. 7th zone every week is going to be a thing. The thing is, okay, so I don't have much news to give you today because there is no live stream. However, hopefully, fingers crossed, my man Yoko comes through tomorrow and I will have data mines to give you all the information that we have not discovered by not having a live stream. Anyway, so yeah, I will be doing a data mines video regardless tomorrow, hopefully, if Yoko gets me the data mines on time. So no pressure, Yoko. What else? We have the crappy crappy war game with crappy rewards, no Iris, and then we have Familia war game. I hate Familia war game, like it's really annoying, and part of me actually hopes that it breaks like it did last time on EU, so I don't have to play it and they just give me rewards for nothing. But that is basically the only slides we have now. Just to give you a little bit of perspective here, Familia Wargame starts tomorrow from the 4th. So it starts from the 4th. Yes, exactly. Right, so from the 4th. Oh, come on, me. Rubbing my eye. So I will take the opportunity right now to set up your teams. I know it's a little bit ahead of schedule, but if you're actually active, then it's not going to hurt. I know a lot of higher competitive teams wait until the very last minute to actually update their teams. But most Familia are not going to be doing that, so I do recommend updating your teams right now. If you do need help team building, feel free to jump into my Discord. The link will be in the description. As always, you can jump in with a team building area, just ask for help, post your box, and someone will come along and give you a hand, either myself or someone on the server. Either way, you will get help if you need it. Breastplates, please be sure to have breastplates. I'm just like, at the minute, I'm just currently filling time. I know a lot of people that watch me are newer players, so I just want to drop the information before, because otherwise this is just a waste of a video. I could literally just post screenshots myself on my community tab. So I figure I'll fill the time with a little bit of helpful advice. So breastplates, at minimal level 60 breastplates. If you do not have at least level 60 breastplates, what are you doing? Go and fix them. There's no need. At the max, you want to be running level 90 breastplates. I myself have a full set of level 90 breastplates, so I'm good to go. I mean, they're not all level 90, but they've been ascended to be able to go to level 90. I think my lowest level breastplate is like level 75, but I do have a majority of them level 90 currently, so I'm in a good spot when it comes to my defenses. Also, keep in mind, Familia Wargame doesn't or isn't really going to play out like regular wargame. Regular wargame, it is for the most part an agility war, so whoever the fastest or whoever can debuff the other's agility first is usually going to win if the team is set up that way. With Familia Wargame, it works out a little bit differently. You do want to make sure, if you are an officer like a lieutenant or a general, you maybe want to play your team a little bit more defensive, because it's not just about winning medals, it's about stopping your enemy from gaining as many medals as possible. So if you are holding on to, say you are an officer, you are a lieutenant or a general, give your Familia a higher chance of winning if you prevent them from getting as many medals off of you as possible. So it stands to reason that if you are an officer, probably might wanna, and I know this is just very vague and general advice, but it probably will work out better for you, especially if you're a this advice, by the way, is solely for the average Familia. We're not talking hyper competitive up there in the top 20 Familias on whatever server, but chances are you do want to run a more defensive team if you are an officer and you do hold on to more valuable medals, because like I said, it's not just about winning medals, it's about stopping them from winning medals too, and you really want to keep that in mind when building your team. So I wouldn't say make it completely obvious as to what your team is going to like that you are an officer, sorry, but maybe pseudo stall is probably the best way to go. If you do have Ardi, she is an amazing unit to help out, even in not non-stall teams, I mean even in pseudo stall teams. Amazing. The resistance buff as well as the KO resist going in there is definitely going to help you, especially if you're just trying to outlast them, because even if they beat you, if they don't beat you within a certain amount of turns, they lose out on bonus medals as well. So every little helps, and you've got to plan this while you're doing it all. When I say doing it all, I mean making your team. So it's just something to keep in mind. Also, you may want to consider investing in alternate weapons for your units when you're playing PvP compared to PvE. I say this because obviously it's a lot more expensive and it's a lot more difficult to get a weapon with 4 stats on it, that being the base additional 15% that unlocks when that weapon is on the correct unit, and then 3 more. Chances are the most you'll probably get for the majority of the cases is 3 stats, and that's including the bonus 15% you get for being on the correct unit too. So it's not always going to be possible to run the most accurate or best weapons for everything, unless you pull a 4-stat weapon with some of the most ridiculous stats on it. But if you aim for, say, crit, agility in Familia Wargame and Wargame is going to be a very important stat to try and keep hold of. So if you do have a second weapon that you can get to level 60 and it has agility on it, as well as strength or magic, as well as the 2 crits, you know, you're in there, you're golden. But it's important to manage your agility as best as possible as well. That's basically what I'm saying here. I think I've waffled on about Familia Wargame enough. Those are just general tips, and they're probably pretty obvious to most of you. It's just I want to help out. I know I have a lot of new and returning players to the game who might need that information. For the most part, any of you guys that do not have Haruhime MLB, it's not a question. You want the Haruhime bond. Nothing else is important. Haruhime is the way to go. As soon as you got her MLB, she pretty much carries you through all content. She's not there to do damage anyway, and the utility she does provide is universal and accepted and needed by all elements anyway. So when you are putting a team together, you're basically only looking for 3 additional units and Haruhime with 2 sack units. That's it. That's your team. But in saying this, there's nothing else I can really say here. This is this is the least amount of news I've ever had to report any week. Anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Please make sure to drop a like if you did, subscribe if you're not. Social media links in the description, and as always, guys, I love you, and I'll catch you later.
Fire!